What is the coldest response to I miss you? Who is this? And, when they give their name, ask which one. I remember an episode of the Sarah Silverman program where she had a call that went something like this. Hello? Hi Sarah, it's Karen. Pretty Karen or Karen Thompson? Karen Thompson. Fuck, that's good. I love Sarah Silverman. Well, looks like someone missed the memo on keeping the conversation chill. Who needs warm and fuzzy when you can have ice-cold confusion? No response. The next level of this is being left on scene. The next level after that is to actually reply seen at 4:33 p.m. Generic excuse. My dog ate my phone. Oh shit. Sorry man, forgot to block you. I got hit with this from a friend once. Was not a good day. That's not a friend. Not anymore anyway. Doesn't really seem like ever was. No, they are a skin mech piloted by a pink blob of information. Okay. 0 Kelvin. Literally the coldest. Colder than the coldest thing in the universe. Even scientists in a lab are not able to produce a reply that cold. I love this. I'm going to refer to OK as giving someone the 0 Kelvin from now on. I'd rather share my bed with a polar bear than receive a colder response than the quick frozen OK do I miss you. I got, so? RIP. I'm more cold-hearted than an iceberg in Antarctica, but even I cringed at that response. Get used to it. Ooh savage. This actually shows you care enough to want to burn them and is somehow weirdly soothing. Yeah, would go as far as to even say almost still wholesome given the right context. Like get used to it in a because while we will be spending a lot of quality time together, there will also be times when we aren't together and this shall carry on for the rest of our lives kinda way. I miss you as much as a snowman misses the summer, but hey, at least we're on the same icicle-less page. Hello viewers. If you're looking for the coldest comeback to I miss you, then you're in for a treat. Subscribe and drop your wittiest icy response below. Let's see who can freeze the strongest. That's sweet. That sweet is truly the greatest, most condescending and dismissive fuck you there is. I distinctly recall wanting to karate chop a guy who replied to my I really care about you with that sweet in college. It felt so damn dismissive. Yeah, this may be the worst one. Now I need closure. 1. Did you actually karate chop the guy in question? 2. Was it immediate or was it months later when you randomly encountered him? 3. Was it an effective karate chop or was it one of those movie thug who attacks in large groups attacking the good guy in an action movie kind of karate chop? I don't think about you at all. Doesn't mean that much to me to mean that much to you Neil Young. Who am I? What am I? Neil Breen. No more books, Neil Breen. What is love? Oh baby, don't hurt me? Hadaway. When I told my ex GF I miss you after 2 weeks of the breakup. She replied I am in a new relationship now. My ex just started asking me for advice on how to get girls to sleep with him less than 48 hours post breakup. That's just asking to be roasted. Well, you could get more girls to sleep with you if you lost weight, got a better job, groomed yourself better, stopped chewing so loudly, cleaned up after yourself, had more confidence, had more realistic expectations, were doing more with your life, stopped wearing cheap cologne, did some volunteer work or at least anything for someone other than yourself, worked to bring your vocabulary and reading skills up to a high school level, worked on your porn addiction, learned how to cook beyond spaghetti and mac and cheese. Just make a mile-long list of inadequacies. That's fucking harsh. And perfect. Your aim will improve. Yeah, your aim always was pretty terrible. Yeah, but they could always come back with I aimed at you didn't I? Ha. My ex-wife still misses me. But her AIM is getting better. /uncomfortable silence /. I must say, your response made me feel as cold as a penguin's party in the Arctic. Winter is definitely not coming with that level of chill. I miss the time when I didn't know you. Or I miss the person I was before I met you. Or I don't miss the person I was when I was with you might be better, since it implies you are once again better. I'm better, but still not the same I do like this, though. Because I will continue to get better. That burned. I miss the time when I didn't know you. Just kidding, I'm as warm and fuzzy towards you as a frozen chicken nugget. Can I borrow $20 then? Lamau. Well, I hope those $20 are as cold as your response, because I'm gonna need them to buy a jacket for this ice cold burn. Thanks. I once went on a date where the guy literally did not ask me a single question and talked about himself the entire time. After I went home, he sent me a text saying, "I really wanted to kiss you," and I replied, "Thanks," and never heard from him again. Lol. It never ceases to amaze me how many guys think that I'm the problem in the conversation when all they do is talk about themselves, talk about what they like about me, or talk about what they want to do to me. Don't get me wrong, if all of this was coupled with genuine interest I wouldn't feel this way, but so often they can't even bother to ask how I feel or what I think. It's ridiculous. Wow, I've never seen someone respond to "I miss you" with such Arctic-like precision. It's like he's been trained by a team of emotionless penguins. That's because you're a stormtrooper, Dave. You miss everyone. Classic Dave.
Ha 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 ha, I like this one.
Kinda too friendly of a joke. Yeah. I'm pretty bad at being mean XX. Sorry, Stormtrooper Dave, but your response was colder than an ice cube. Social skills at a pool party. If it's a text message, just react to it with a thumbs up. That's the biggest fuck you. Lamau. I love when someone sends me a long novel of a non-apology making tons of excuses. I thumb it up and say nothing. Nah, laughing emoji. I may be colder than an ice cube, but I wouldn't even give a snowflake's worth of attention to a thumbs up in response to "I miss you." Read. User is typing. User has left the chat. See the animated 3 dots for 10 minutes, sends 3 words. What did you type and then delete? So, sometimes I do this if I know someone is watching the conversation and I want to mess with them. I'll type a couple random letters so it starts blinking the dots. Then erase them and type something like "okay." It's the most passive-aggressive move I have. Lol. Looks like someone is trying to keep things colder than a penguin's ice skating rink with their response. I don't know about you, but I'll stick to the cozy warmth of a hot cocoa and leave the frostiness for the snowmen. I envy all the people who never met you. This goes hard. Well, apparently Jack Frost called and said even he's a little intimidated by that icy response. I don't. Basically what my ex-wife replied. That's the problem, I don't. Before sad replies, it was for the best, and, although it hurt at the time, she was right. After almost 20 years we had grown apart and in different directions. I don't think I missed her, but what we didn't have anymore. I've come to that same realization about my significant ex, 8 years off/on. I miss what it felt like to have that mutually worthwhile bond/connection, and I miss having that other half who had been a huge part of my life, and many of my happiest moments and major milestones. I often have to remind myself that toward the end, we had grown to be at odds over some fundamental things that we were aligned on for the first several years, and that if we had met today there would be no way either of us would be seriously interested in the other. I sure do miss the man I fell in love with, and I miss my partner, but I don't miss the stress of what being with him ended up becoming. I'd be surprised if he felt differently. I have lots of familial love for him, and I only wish good things for him, but if I never saw him again, that'd still be too soon. I never knew the phrase "I don't" could have a colder effect than sticking my tongue on a frozen flagpole in the dead of winter. Hashtag where are you? And I'm so sorry. I cannot sleep, I cannot dream. Tona White. I cannot sleep, I cannot dream tonight. I need somebody and LYAs. I miss you as much as a snowflake misses the chance to become a blizzard, but your response just sent a gust of icy confusion my way. It'll pass. Fleabag reference? Well, I can see your response is colder than the ice cubes I accidentally left in the freezer for a year. So much for warm and fuzzy. I'm sure you do. Well, I've seen colder responses than that, but your comeback did make the snowflakes in my heart shiver a little. No you don't, you miss the person who loved you so much, you never had to love them back. This sounds like a Rick and Morty line. Or am I mistaken? It is Lamau, I think Morty says it to one of his crushes. Still a really solid line. You're not mistaken. It's from that episode where Rick and Morty get the toxins removed from their bodies. Take it easy, Eminem.